The Bible is a sacred story, echoed to us from the ancients. An epic, revealing the great Creator's pursuit of wholeness for all of creation. May we find ourselves in this amazing story. The Creator, a great and mysterious being called God, hovered over the dark waters of the earth. As God spoke, creation took shape. God pushed back darkness from light, separated sky from water, and surfaced land from the seas. God filled the air, land, and water with every kind of creature. Then, God formed a new creature to reflect God's own image. Humans were entrusted by God to care for all living things. Looking over creation, God thought, "This is very good." Then God rested and set aside a day for humans to rest and enjoy being with God. God tried to protect the humans from knowing too much too soon. But the humans ignored God's instructions. They gave in to temptation, believing they could have God's wisdom right away. Soon, they began to experience struggles, and pain, and death. Before long, civilizations emerged, but humans couldn't live peacefully apart from God's ways. Selfishness turned into hatred, murder, and war. The earth was filled with chaos. God's heart broke. So God sent a terrible flood, washing it all away. But God never gave up hope. In fact, God promised to bless the entire world again. It would all start through a man named Abraham. God made this sacred promise to him. God said, "Look around. As far as you can see, this promised land is for your family. Look up and try to count the stars. That's how many will be in your family. They will be my blessing to the entire world." Abraham and his wife Sarah laughed in disbelief. How could this come true? We've never been able to have children, and now we're too old. But they weren't too old for a miracle. After 25 years of waiting, they had a son and named him Isaac, which means laughter. Just as God promised, the number of Abraham's descendants grew and grew. These special people were named after Israel, Abraham's grandson. Israel had 12 sons of his own. When famine struck their promised land, they moved to Egypt. There, the Israelites' numbers grew and grew. Egypt's King Pharaoh felt threatened by them and forced them into slavery. In their suffering, the Israelites cried out to God. God answered with incredible signs and wonders. God also sent a humble leader named Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. God split a wide sea, giving them a narrow escape path from Pharaoh's armies. The Israelites danced and sang in celebration. Their journey had just begun. The people of Israel were about to embark on a long trek through the desert in hope of returning to their promised land. God guided them with a pillar of fire at night and a towering cloud by day. God gave Moses commands and laws to instruct Israel in the best ways to live. But the people rebelled and worshipped a golden idol. This enraged Moses and God. So Israel had to wander in the desert for 40 years. 40 years of complaining and conflict. But God did not abandon Israel. God dwelled in the center of their camp in a sacred tent called a tabernacle. After years of wandering in the desert, Israel returned to their promised land. Right away, they were attacked by rival nations. So God raised up judges, warriors to lead Israel to defeat their enemies. But after each victory, Israel would forget about God until the next time they were in trouble. Then they would beg God for help again. It became a terrible cycle. Soon, Israel had their first king, Saul. But Saul became corrupt and crazy. So God raised up King David. He wasn't perfect, but he loved God deeply and led Israel to follow God's ways. Israel enjoyed peace and prosperity for a season, but turbulent times were on the horizon. Let's continue their story right now.